He was once seen as a GOP front-runner in the race to be Colorado's next governor. Well, former Congressman Tom Tancredo dropped out of the race. He says his campaign simply did not raise enough money.
I believed I had a chance. I believed that I could be a viable candidate. It would take resources that did not develop.
Tancredo says he believes Jared Polis will win the Democratic nomination. He says he just could not keep up with the money being put into Polis's campaign. Now, Republicans still in the race are Attorney General Cynthia Kaufman, State Treasurer Walker Stapleton, Larimer County Commissioner Lou Gator, former Parker Mayor Greg Lopez, former state lawmaker Victor Mitchell, co-chair of President Trump's Colorado presidential campaign Steve Barlock, and Mitt Romney's nephew Doug Robinson. Well, joining us to talk about this race is Blair Miller of thedenverchannel.com. Glad to have you here. So with Tancredo out, who assumes the top position here?
Well, I think, on the Democrat side, there's Jared Polis, obviously. He's thrown a ton of money in, has a lot of name recognition, but there's a lot of other Democrats who I think have very strong, candidacies at this point because they're raising so much money. Republican-wise, I think at this point you'd have to say it's Cynthia Kaufman or Walker Stapleton, just solely off this fact that they have state office already, and Victor Mitchell doesn't seem to be raising as much or spending as much. He still has a ton in the bank, but it's kind of unclear what he's doing with his campaign.
So on the Republican side, who's doing the best job at raising money right now?
Oh, certainly Walker Stapleton. I mean, he raised almost $1 million last quarter. He gave himself some of that money, but he's far and away raising the most individually, and that's after he had that PAC that's linked to him, essentially raise all that money before he even entered the race.
So when you look at all of these names, I mean, there's a whole lot of people out there running for governor. Who really is rising to the top? And because they're not, I don't think they're everyday household names.
Well, no, and I think that's sort of the story right now is no one's really rising to the top. There's a Keating poll out late last year and a poll that came out recently from the University of Colorado that some Republicans have kind of shied away from. But both of them said that no matter Democrat, Republican, the voters, more than 50% are still undecided on who they want to vote for. And in the Republican polls, a lot of those people who were decided for Tancredo. So now that he's out, I think it kind of throws the Republican Party way up in the air.
Kind of shake things up. We have some pretty formidable candidates as female candidates running for governor. Is Colorado ready for a female governor?
I mean, I think it might really be the year. I mean, really, like I said, at this point, it's sort of anyone's guess. But you have Donald Lynn.
I can't believe I'm asking that in 2018, but go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, well, we're asking the same about the presidency still, and there's Donald Lynn, the lieutenant governor, Cynthia Kaufman, the attorney general, and there's also Kerry Kennedy. Yeah. And Kerry Kennedy's been out there picking up a ton of endorsements and still raising a ton of money. Cynthia Kaufman's lagging a little bit behind, and I think she's trying to sort of fill these shoes that Tancredo's now left in the past couple, like over the past week since he dropped out. And then Donald Lynn, I think she's still continuing to raise money and just, I think, sort of flying a little under the radar because she's still the lieutenant governor, but I think we'll see that campaign pick up more as we go ahead, too.
Well, and she's certainly out there, but yeah, it'll be an interesting race to watch for sure. And
right, and it's another interesting thing is Facebook COO Sheryl Sanders, she formed a committee for Democrat Mike Johnson this week. So, and that's sort of women supporting Mike Johnson. So they're not supporting these women in this race. So it's going to be an interesting next few months.
Okay, I know you'll be watching. So will we here at Politics Unplugged. Thank you, Blair.
Yep.
By the way, if you ever have a question or a segment idea for us, just tweet us anytime at Denver 7 Politics, and you can always watch today's segments at thedenverchannel.com/Politics Unplugged. Thank you so much for joining us. We will see you back here next Sunday for another edition of Politics Unplugged.